Hello everybody, it's Lindsay from mycreativedays.com. I have a pretty exciting project I want to share with you today. So I love picking up old galvanized buckets whenever I see them at yard sales or thrift stores. I plant in them in the spring and we use them around the yard, and I actually bring them in my house too for decorations and storing things inside. Another favorite thing of mine is old wood boxes. Whenever I find these at yard sales or thrift stores, I always pick them up because I can use them for so many things. So I'm going to show you though today how to turn this into this. Is this not so fun? I just love the color and it's so easy to do. And the best part is that you can use it on wood too. So I've already done this side and the sides of this box. So I'm gonna show you how to do it on this side of the box, and then I'll show you how to do it. It's the same process on the galvanized metal. I was floored when this worked out. I can't believe it works on wood too. There's nothing safe now. There is nothing safe. All the projects are gonna look like this. So let me show you what I use. I'm gonna try not to hit the table. So the first thing I used is the Metal Effects Primer from Modern Masters. And then you will also need, for this color that I got here, you will need the Metal Effects Oxidizing Copper Paint from Modern Masters. You guys can see that. And then I used the green Patina Aging Solution because anything green makes me happy. So this process could not be easier. The only thing that takes time is just waiting for the steps to dry. So, but other than that, it's super easy and it turns out. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is use the primer, and just for this, let me move this camera down a little bit. And just for this, I did not grab a little container. So I'm just gonna pour this on and brush it on. When I was working on this project, my daughter walked in and said, "Mom, you're painting that brown color." Don't worry about this color when you put it on. It does not look like it. This color does not show up when you get it all done. So this is just the primer. I'm going to take the excess I have, and I'm just going to put it right on top of this, all over the metal galvanized bucket too. So you will need 2 coats of the primer. And like I said, it's just waiting for the coats to dry. That's what takes the longest. Just gonna get some of this excess off. Then I'm gonna do the top of my box. We have had the worst winter in Iowa. Lots of snow, very cold. And so when this worked out, I don't know, it's something about this look that just makes me think spring. So I'm just thinking, if I do more projects like this, spring will come, right? It's gotta come. Maybe if I do, like, does that help you guys to see it a little better? I can't do it like that because I have to pour the paint on here. Very forgiving. You just want to cover all of your surface with this brown paint. It's the primer. It's not paint, it's primer. It just is brown. Okay, I'm going to get 2 coats on this. I will wait for it to dry and then I'll come back and show you the next steps. Okay, now I have the primer is on. I have 2 coats of primer on the wood box, and then I have 2 coats of primer on the other side of this pail bucket, galvanized bucket. And then I had another bucket that I wanted to do, so I've got 2 coats of the primer on this bucket. So the next thing I'm gonna use is the oxidizing copper paint. Kind of a glare from the sun there. And I am going to put 1 coat of the copper paint on all of these things, and then I will explain next what I'm going to do. Okay, so I have 2 coats of the primer on my box and my 2 buckets over here. And I have 1 coat of the copper paint. You can see it kind of still needs another coat. So here's where the magic happens. So at this point, I put the green Patina aging solution into just a normal spray bottle. So I put it in here because it's kind of easier to work with this way, I feel. You could also, I mean, it's like watery consistency. So I did initially just try to put it on and pat it, and it did work. That's what I did here. But I put it in a spray bottle, and I just feel like that's easier. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to put another coat of the copper paint on, and then while it's still wet, I need to spray it with this stuff. So I'm going to do that now and show you how I do that. And I'm kind of going, I'm not putting my paint on in any direct, I mean, I'm putting it on in every direction, I guess I should say. Just so it kind of looks more authentic, or just not so perfect straight lines type of thing. With this coat, if you can see, I'll show you what I mean. Here it kind of like it took, whoops, all the brush strokes, so it kind of went with that grain, and I kind of liked it more like this, where it's kind of just kind of haphazard and kind of in every different direction. Okay, so I have my second coat on, and now while it's still wet, I'm going to spray it. I'm trying to do this at the right angle. Okay, I am just spraying it. I have a little canvas drop cloth underneath here, so I don't get everything. Okay, and I will kind of show you. Can you guys see that? I just sprayed it on there. No rhyme or reason, no, you can blot it too. I've been trying like different things, just to kind of, like I said, I don't want it to look perfect. I just want it to look naturally aged copper. Can you guys, there we go. Just sprayed it on there, sprayed it on the top, and then I'm just gonna let this sit over here to dry and do its thing. And then once that dries, magic happens. It's amazing. Okay, let me do, with these buckets, since they're a little bit bigger, I'm going to work in smaller areas. So as I put the paint on one section of the bucket, then I'm going to spray it, just because you want to make sure that paint, the copper paint, is wet. And so for that green solution to work. So just did a little area there. And then I will show you. I'm just spraying it. And then I will move on to the next little area. You guys, this project, anytime I can do an easy project like this and get such a huge, like, transformation and such a, I mean, it's really not, like I said, the longest part is waiting for the paint to dry in between your coats and all that, but I couldn't believe how well it looked the first time I did this. And it's not a real long drawn out process with, you know, tons and tons of products. It's just these few products that gets this particular look. Okay, I'm just gonna spray that little section now. Again, no rhyme or reason. I'm just spraying where the paint is wet. I couldn't tell right there if that was wet paint or... Okay, and now I'm just gonna finish it. There's just a little section over here. I didn't do the inside of the buckets or the box, and now I'm wondering if I would have liked that. Maybe the next time I do this, I will do that. Okay, that next little section is done. I'm gonna spray that. And then I just wanna make sure that I get the top here around the rim. If you guys can see that. The handle around the rim. I don't want the rim to stay copper, so I'm painting in another coat of the copper around the rim and on the handle here. I'm being very messy with it. I'm not, some parts aren't covered, some parts are. So, and then I'm just gonna spray that. And I just, if you guys can tell, I mean little squirt. I'm not spraying heavily at all. I'm just, okay, that one is ready to dry. Okay, and now I'll move on to this one. Super simple, but super amazing when you get it done. Okay, you guys, I just had to show after just a little bit, this is the side of the wood box. Here's the other side of that one pail. It's still drying and still working, but it looks amazing. And I love the different, it's going this way and that way. And up here, it's starting to work. Like I said, it's still drying. And here's the one that I didn't do it all. So, whoops, you guys. I am obsessed with this process and how well it works. I'm really thinking about doing an entire dresser or a console table with this. I mean, this will not be the last time I do this and share this process because this is so, so pretty.